Azeez Ojulari, 6 sacks on the year. They've got Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, who did have a sack tonight. He's under contract. What do you think it would take now to get an Azeez Ojulari with the price tag seemingly growing by the day?
Yeah, I think you start as a high day 3 pick. I think 4th round pick gets it done for somebody like Azeez
You think
Ojulari.
really?
I do. Don't I mean you think a guy that there was a 2nd round pick and he's been good, but what do you think? A 3rd? I just don't think you go much higher than that.
I think they will want a 3rd. I go back to Montez Sweat got a 2nd, and it was pretty well understood that was going to be a high 2nd. Now I know he was a high pick.
Sweat. He was a 1st round pick,
and he had the resume. Ojulari's sacks are as followed: 8 sacks as a rookie, 5.5, 2.5, and he's missed a lot of time. And then this year coming in, it's kind of Hassan Reddick-esque, where popping in a contract year. I know his development wasn't butchered quite like Hassan, but 4 sacks. They didn't, consider making him a marquee part of their defense. They went out and got, Brian Burns. They drafted Kayvon Thibodeau. He was an afterthought. I remember articles in the preseason, Bo, saying, go get Azeez Ojulari. You can get him for next to nothing. Well, I have here's my only concern about him, because I love the family connection. We've talked about that. I love the age. Doesn't, if he's a free agent, figure it out. If he does well, extend him, franchise him, whatever. My concern is the Giants' best unit defensively is their defensive line. I think he is being helped, fair or not, playing best next to the best D tackle in the NFL right now, in Dexter Lawrence, and playing opposite Brian Burns, Jr., going against premier tackles. You're going to ask Azeez Ojulari coming in Arizona, hey, man, you're it. Like, respectfully, you're our best defensive lineman. We got this young kid we're excited about. He's out of Missouri. He hasn't played a down of NFL football yet. We got this guy opposite from you, Zaven Collins. He was also a 1st-round pick. He's underachieved to the point where we had to switch positions, and he's basically only a run defender. Like, have you seen enough from Azeez Ojulari where you're like, yeah, that'll translate to the Cardinals off a defensive line that looks nothing like the Giants?
He looked fast. He looked fast tonight. I mean, yeah. And look, he's got the size you like, right? He's right there, as I mentioned. He profiles with the correct age. Young, 24. I don't think as much cap space as you have, and also a key bargaining chip. And like, hey, your brother plays for the organization. We like him a lot. I think that it's not your stereotypical, hey, he's a free agent and this is just a rental.
Yeah,
for this, there's a big opportunity to keep him in house, so you're not just burning a draft pick. But yeah, I mean, I think you could use that as far as negotiations and say, hey, Dexter Lawrence is here. You've got Brian Burns. You've got Kayvon Thibodeau. You got a surplus there. I'm going to take advantage of this. But like, I think the biggest thing is you're going to be competing with some other teams. Like I would, Detroit seems like a perfect fit for Azeez Ojulari, doesn't it? As they try to make up for the void at Aiden Hutchinson. So what are you willing to spend to kind of win that bidding war? But yeah, I think you continue to stay around the day 3 picks for a guy like Azeez Ojulari, just given the complete resume outside of the 6 sacks in 2024, which has been fantastic. And also, look, go through the numbers again, and it's like, hey, can you do this? Hey, it doesn't matter anymore. You one sack from your off-ball line, your outside linebackers, like, it doesn't matter. You just got to bring somebody in that's got that in their repertoire, in their arsenal.
Yeah, I if it was me, I'd bring in multiple. We don't think that's realistic. And I think it puts a lot of pressure on somebody like Zaven Collins, where it's like, hey, Zaven, like, can you win one-on-one with the Darius? And in addition, we need you to step up, man. I love Zaven Collins, but like, is this it? Is this what we're gonna get from Zaven? Where it's like, pretty good run defender, offers you next to nothing, respectfully, as a pass rusher. If this is it from Zaven Collins, and we get like 17 games of this, like, Cardinals need to be in the market for like multiple edge rushers this offseason. And it would behoove them to get a jump start on that now. Like, B.J. Ojulari, again, I keep saying this, is a lottery ticket entering next year. Like, you don't know what you're getting from him. He hasn't been healthy for 2 years. We're hopeful, right? Arden Key,
2 leg injuries.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this one the most significant, but he came off a procedure post-draft, 2 leg injuries. I know he's young. He's a younger type, just like his brother. But at the same time, yeah, I agree. It's just not something you can say, hey, this is going to be somebody that we can really kind of hang our hat on. in that room. Like, he can be a part of that rotation, no doubt about it. And then, like, once he gets healthier and healthier and, back in the mix, you could expect him to make some noise and then say, hey, is this somebody who's a future piece? But now going into year 3 of a 4-year rookie contract, and you don't know much about him. It's just, you need more proven commodities than that.
In all my emotional state here, I'm going to pose this to you because you know what my answer is.
Yeah.
Does Monty Ossenford run the risk of losing the locker room, this fan base, all of the above, by not being proactive the next 8 days? Like, is it acceptable for Monty Ossenford to sit on his hands no matter how the rest of the season plays out?
I mean, I think that there's logical reasons, because of, when you proved your point, that you were worthy of making a move, and then what's available. Like, we can bandy about all these names, but, is there a move to be made? And, if the Giants are sitting there and they're saying, hey, our asking price is a third, I know you're going to point to Tip Ryman, but like, he had 4 third-round picks. He took that kind of as a luxury third-round pick. He had so many selections. You don't have that right now. So, like, a third-round pick is a premium. Like, it's likely a top 100 pick for this team, and who they view as a starter, quickly. So I would say, like, if the Giants are going to dig in, and maybe Detroit's willing to pay that price, I think that's a little steep for my taste. And if it just, he gets priced out, or the market's too competitive, or the right players aren't available, I mean, that at the end of the day, it's still important to kind of keep the faith in the direction in this rebuild going, while also, being able to win at the same time. I know it's tough, and that'd be a brutal pill to swallow. But if there's not a deal to be made, if nobody's willing to play ball, realistically about who their players are, and where they are in the standings and the reasons for that, like, you can't make the other general manager get off his asking price.
We all silly like the mayor.